All right, Raindrops. So we are going to have our live YouTube show tonight. We have to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, the TikTok of it all. Listen, the TikTok recaps of the latest episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville has me in stitches. I love it, love it, love it. Shout out to all the TikTok content creators who are talking about that scene that we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, so we got that. We're also going to talk about a lot of shot topics. So we don't do hot topics. We call them shot topics in the reality landscape, okay? So catch us tonight on my YouTube channel, okay?
Let's begin by clearing up one important thing about Carlos King. When it comes to his empire, he does not play around. He isn't the type to make half decisions, and he surely isn't the type to let anyone else take control of what he has built. The recent events surrounding Love and Marriage Huntsville prove exactly that. What happened wasn't just a reshuffling of cast members. It was bigger. It was a bold power move. The kind of move that makes viewers pause, rewind the clip, and ask, wait, did that really just happen? The shock was real, and the conversation online showed how big this shakeup was. Carlos King made the call to cut LaTisha Scott and Marsau Scott, and the way he did it left people either cheering or fuming. For some, the decision was long overdue. For others, it was completely unforgivable. To truly understand why this moment matters, you have to look at what the Scotts meant to Love and Marriage Huntsville. From the very beginning, they weren't just participants. They were the foundation.
They went with somebody that's your boy, and then when they come lying about some shit, hey,
so stop that thought. I'm not your boy.
When the show premiered back in 2019, it wasn't marketed as another messy reality series filled only with shouting matches and confessionals. It had a bigger vision. The concept was simple but powerful. Bring together couples who represented strength, ambition, and brilliance, especially within the Black community in Alabama. It was about showcasing entrepreneurs, marriages under pressure, and families building legacies while navigating modern challenges. At the heart of that vision stood LaTisha and Marsau. They weren't background players, they were Huntsville. Love them or hate them, they defined much of what the show was about. LaTisha carried herself with Southern grace. She was polite, stylish, and always tried to keep her image polished. But beneath that polished surface was a woman struggling to find her voice in a marriage that felt more traditional than many viewers were ready for. Marsau, on the other hand, was unpredictable. He was charming and funny at times, but also stubborn, controlling, and often controversial. Together, they made a combination that viewers could not look away from. Their marriage became one of the central talking points of the series. Conversations about independence, gender roles, and family power struggles played out between them in ways that mirrored real-life debates happening in households everywhere. This wasn't just TV drama for ratings. It was raw enough that people related to it, and that relatability kept audiences glued to their screens. But here's the problem with reality TV. When the drama spills off the screen and into real life, the line between entertainment and personal pain gets blurry. That was the crossroad Carlos King found himself at with the Scotts. For a while, things seemed to be going fine. The Scotts added depth and realism to the show. Their businesses, like the Black Cigar Lounge, gave the series authentic storylines. Carlos had a vision of highlighting Black wealth, struggle, and success, and the Scotts seemed to embody all of that. But behind closed doors, trouble was brewing. According to insiders, LaTisha hated how the show portrayed her. She didn't like being seen as a wife clinging to a failing marriage. Marsau wasn't happy either. He disliked being painted as the villain. Now, in reality TV, image is everything. Your brand, your reputation, and your livelihood often depend on how you're shown on camera. For the Scotts, Every meme, every harsh Twitter thread, and every online joke about them wasn't just entertainment. It was a hit against their name and their business. As new cast members entered the picture, the Scotts felt their spotlight shrinking. Rumors suggest they started pushing back, demanding more control over how their storylines were shaped. But in Carlos King's world, that was a dangerous move. There's one golden rule he's never been shy about enforcing. It's his show, not theirs. The red flags only grew from there. Word spread that the Scotts began refusing to film certain scenes. Think about that for a moment. In reality TV, the entire point is to capture everything, the good, the bad, and the downright messy. If cast members start saying no to filming, it undercuts the whole structure of the show. Producers reportedly saw this happening more than once, and soon it felt like a pattern. On top of that, whispers spread that the Scotts had even asked for more money, claiming they were too important to replace. Instead of folding under pressure, Carlos drew the line. And when Carlos makes a decision, he doesn't tiptoe, he doesn't sugarcoat, he doesn't stage a soft, gentle exit, he confronts the matter head-on. That's exactly what he did here. Sources say Carlos sat down with LaTisha and Marsau, looked them in the eye, and told them flat out they were done. No negotiations, no back and forth. The decision was final. The tension in that room, according to those present, was so heavy you could slice it with a knife. When the news became public, Carlos didn't quietly bury it in a press release. He announced the change boldly, using his own platform to make sure everyone knew what had happened. He didn't even need to say their names. Fans quickly connected the dots, and within minutes, social media exploded. The fan reaction was split straight down the middle. On one side, there were viewers celebrating. To them, the Scotts had overstayed their welcome. They felt the couple was always holding back, choosing when to be real and when to disappear into the shadows. They accused LaTisha and Marsau of draining the energy out of scenes and slowing down the show's momentum. For this group, Carlos's decision was not only correct, it was long overdue. But the other side was furious. To them, the Scotts weren't villains. They were the soul of love and marriage Huntsville. Their marriage struggles, their family debates, their hustle to build businesses, all of it gave the show a backbone. These fans didn't see Carlos's decision as simple casting. They saw it as tearing away part of the show's identity. The drama didn't end there. The Scotts added fuel to the fire through cryptic social media posts. LaTisha shared a quote about how money tests loyalty. Marsau hinted that sometimes absence speaks louder than presence. They didn't tag anyone, but fans knew exactly who those posts were aimed at. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Some praised the Scotts for standing their ground. Others accused them of playing victim. It was chaos. Meanwhile, Carlos stood firm. In follow-up comments, he made it clear the franchise was moving forward. He said the brand was evolving and not everyone could keep up. His message was simple: adapt or get left behind. This didn't just shake fans, it rattled the entire cast. Melody Holt, who has a long history of clashing with the Scotts, stayed quiet publicly, but insiders claim she wasn't shocked at all. In fact, she saw it as Carlos finally drawing a line. For other cast members, though, it was a wake-up call. If the Scotts could be cut, no one was safe. Suddenly, every argument, every confession, every storyline felt like it could be their last. And that brings us to the biggest unanswered question: who will replace them? You can't just pull two of the most recognizable faces from a show and expect things to go on smoothly. New cast members bring fresh stories, yes, but chemistry? Chemistry can't be faked. Fans are quick to spot when someone doesn't fit. One wrong casting choice could make the whole show stumble. Carlos knows that, which is why he's reportedly been searching carefully. Rumors suggest he's been scouting not just in Huntsville, but also in nearby cities like Birmingham and even Atlanta. His goal? Find authentic couples with big personalities, deep community roots, and the ability to handle cameras without fear. Still, no matter who comes in, they won't simply replace the Scotts. To fill that gap, newcomers will have to bring something explosive and fresh, something that can hook viewers immediately. Meanwhile, the Scotts aren't sitting around licking their wounds. Industry insiders say they're already planning their next move. Whispers of a tell-all project, a podcast, or even a spin-off are floating around. With their name recognition and loyal fan base, opportunities are wide open. LaTisha is reportedly exploring brand deals and public speaking gigs. Marsau, never one to stay silent for long, has been hinting about building something outside the reality TV world. Together, they're redirecting their energy. Some fans even speculate the Scotts could partner with a competing network, which would make things even more dramatic. Imagine them launching their own independent show, where they have complete creative control, the very thing they fought Carlos over behind the scenes. That would flip the entire narrative and create one of the most interesting rivalries in reality TV history: creator versus creation. Whether you side with Carlos or with the Scotts, there's no denying this decision has changed the game. This isn't just a storyline on TV, it's a real-time power play. The ripple effects are going to reach far beyond Huntsville. Because here's the truth, reality TV is about more than just ratings. It's about control, influence, and the ability to shape culture. By cutting the Scotts, Carlos King sent a loud message, not only to them, but to every other cast member and even to other producers in the industry. He showed that he's not afraid to gamble, even if it means losing history and familiarity. Now, the future of Love and Marriage Huntsville hangs in the balance. Will new blood revive the franchise? Or will losing the Scotts prove to be the risk that costs Carlos more than he gained? One thing is certain, everyone is watching. The future of Love and Marriage Huntsville is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Carlos King has redrawn the lines of power. The Scotts may be gone, yet their impact lingers. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and the next chapter could change everything.